Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Hardcore Heroes. So, you're in town. You're staying at this inn, unfortunately located just down the street from a tanner, but this is a time when tanneries are allowed in cities, and cities are just terrible. There's, no sewage, there's no drains, there's just shit and piss and disease in the streets, and life is generally miserable. Nope, no sewers.
Who the fuck builds whatever.
Sewers took a long time to be developed, man. For a while,
yeah, but so did cities.
That's true. Well, this is a city without a sewer system, so it reeks. Everything smells in here, and after a week or so, your nose will adjust, and you won't really notice it as much. But for the time being, it is stanky.
That's great.
And while you're hanging out at this place, your tanner comes right on back to you. After getting to the stuff, and he comes back sort of excitedly and says, "Excuse me, so you're Father Van Helsing, right?"
Yes.
Great. I mentioned casually to one of my other friends, companions, colleagues who works with leather armor, and he said he would be honored to make some leather armor for the great Van Helsing. Apparently, he is a personal fan of yours. He's heard of your goings-on in, he said Shirebrook, perhaps?
Yes, we hail from Shirebrook. Originally, it's been a while.
Well, he said he would be honored to make your armor. Then I was, during the course of our conversation, one of the other leather workers nearby came up and said that he was more interested in the job too. So I just thought I should let you know that you have two willing leather workers to...
I see. Do you have... Do you know anything about them? Do either of them have experience with this sort of... I mean, I assume most don't have experience with dragon leather, but with fashioning armor?
Certainly.
What about their reputations?
They are both fantastic leather workers. I might be a little bit biased, but I think my friend and colleague and the fan of yours would be the better worker.
He did offer first. Seems only fair.
I've also taken an account of the amount you've brought with you, and it appears we have enough for 3 sections of armor. 3 breastplates, three limbs, one of each and one of the others. I would be happy to help oversee and manage the finer details of this project to allow a great man as yourself the time to do whatever the high things that you need to do would be.
Well, allow me to meet this tanner at least. I'd like to meet a man who knows me personally.
All right. He will take you to his friend, whose name is Tanner as well. Unfortunate for the kid.
Yeah.
Let's figure out who Tanner is. Randomizer. NPC randomizer. Tanner is a human male. He is 6'1", 182 pounds, 45 years of age. And as you get brought to his shop, you can see that there are symbols of Nadinus carved into the poles around where he works. And, there's a big plaque of Nadinus adorning the front door to his house. And he's out there currently, sifting his urine, getting it ready for tanning.
Yep. Which one is Nadinus? I don't
She is the goddess of nature, I believe.
Okay.
I hope I said that right. It should be Nadinus. Yes, Nadinus, the goddess of nature, one of the big 6, big 7.
Well met, friend. I hear you're looking to do the armor commission.
His eyes go wide, his jaw drops a little bit, and he hurries over, gives a stiff and deep bow, and then grasps your hand in both of his, and says, "Oh, Father Van Helsing, I have heard so much about your stories." Oh, absolutely. There were some refugees from Shirebrook that came this way, and before then I had heard about there was this thing with the Baroness's daughter in Anvil, right? Right?
Oh yes,
yes. And a woman you rescued from a tower once, and you crossed the Shadow Mountains. I've heard all about your stories.
Yes, they're not all quite so glamorous, but I suppose we have done everything there.
Is it true that you and your companions defeated an entire legion of armed men in Redport with a fireball spell.
Kind of. It's a little complicated. Yeah. Not I wouldn't say defeated. That was a bit of an unfortunate incident.
Nonsense. When 100 men come to kill you, that's what you have to do.
Yes, sometimes. Really, more it was the quick burst of damage followed by a very covert escape. I think things might have gotten a little bit exaggerated. 100 men would overwhelm even me.
Oh, I don't know. You have the power of the gods at your side, and no one can go wrong with that. I also hear that you're a master stonesmith.
That is definitely an exaggeration. I was as a child, but I'll never match a dwarf.
I've never met a man so accomplished and humble as you. It would be a great honor to make your armor for you.
Of course. May I see some of your previous work? I was hoping to come and evaluate it.
Of course. And he takes you over to some suits of leather armor that he's got sitting around, and he's like, well, these are the ones that people haven't bought for whatever reason or another. They're actually my lesser works. All my great stuff has already been sold. Let's see. And he'll bring you to a pair of gloves that are very, very well stitched, and they're sized for his hands, and he'll put them on, and the fingers will come just perfectly to the end with no extra nubs. They'll fit tightly around his hands, so there's no looseness to it. It's like modern stitching levels of things. It's
right.
Fantastic. You could say that they are quality 30 gloves.
Okay. Looking at the gloves and then looking at some of the armor he showed me, does the stitching pattern look the same? Do they look like they say? Because different people stitch differently, right? They use different patterns.
Right.
Do they look like the same pattern?
Yes, they do.
Okay. I see. Well, I don't mean to. I don't mean to come across as rude, friend. Do you have any? Gloves are all well and good, but we need the full piece, right? We need the sort of a breastplate and the limbs as well.
Right. I myself has never worked with dragon scale before, but I have always wanted to. It's been a childhood dream of mine. You grew up with the name of Tanner, and you know what your life is going to be from the day that you're born. And this would be. I've made some things out of what do you call it? Displacer beast hide in the past. That was a fun job, but dragon scale. I could retire on that. I mean, not monetarily, but I could hang my hat on
telling
that,
the story, right?
Yes.
Well, very well. You have the job. What kind of payment what kind of compensation do you consider fair for this work?
He does some quick mental calculations, saying that 5 weeks to. It'll probably be minimum of. It might take me 10 weeks to do it right. For one full suit. If you, this isn't something that ought to be rushed. So
right.
10 weeks, and that's going to be 2.5 months. Times 2.5. So let's see. Maybe 100 gold. It'll be a much more difficult project than the other ones. I'll need special supplies that I'll have to bring in from elsewhere. My normal rate, if it was just regular armor, would be about 1/3 of that, but I can use just regular materials and components. For something like this, I wouldn't want to use cotton thread. I'd want to use silk, and I wouldn't want to just use regular old human piss to help wash it out. I would want something a little bit more pristine, so I would need to. He kind of gives a sigh and goes, I would need to find a lot of halfling urine. There's something about the quality of halfling urine that just you can't get better than that when you need to tan some hides.
Well, tell you what, I don't want to I'm only carrying traveling money on me. I don't want to completely exhaust my funds. I can pay you 80 gold up front, and if you give me your details, I can arrange for my servant is unfortunately out of the estate right now, but I can arrange for further payment another 50 gold to be sent to you in the future.
Absolutely, I completely trust you that you will be fill through on this deal. 80 gold will suffice up front. That'll cover all the expenses and everything.
Excellent. Can I get some of your information so that we know who to send it to in the future? And I pull out like a little notebook that Van carries around.
Sure. He'll give you, names, addresses, all the information that you might need to, have someone deliver a package to him in the future.
Excellent. So I'll pay him 80 up front.
Excellent. And he tells you
we're not going to be in town for the whole job.
Okay.
But if either I or any of my companions return for the suit, any one of us is free to take it.
Sure. He'll just want like a list of names and appearances so that no one tries to like sneak.
Yeah, I'll describe the people and give the names of Lucilla.
Right.
Is it Lucilla? What would we go with?
I don't know.
Lucilla and
Lucille.
Frank and Bell.
Okay.
I was worrying about the pronunciation on.
Right. I don't know. Did you want to include like Jeeves or Malachi or Madam Truffle?
Pick it up.
Okay. Cool. Perfect.
I don't think Malachi could carry all that, anyways.
Yeah.
All right, so I'll pay him 80 gold up front, and I guess that's that business concluded. All right. 20. And then what time of day is it right now?
Ooh, it's maybe mid-afternoon.
Okay, that seems early enough. I'm gonna try approaching the castle gates. Carrying like my weapons in the cloth that they're in, so just kind of over my shoulder rather than belted at my side. And I walk up to a gate guard and say, "Hail! I'm Van Helsing, cleric of Chiefs. I was hoping for an audience with the Queen of Stromheim."
They look surprised, but not too terribly surprised. And one of them fetches the Chancellor, who will agree to make a meeting with you and the Queen.
I will be around for a few days. It's not especially urgent, so if she has important matters to attend to, I can wait for a few days.
They will get you an audience tomorrow, actually.
Excellent.
That's when the next time she holds court. Well, actually, hold on. Do you want a private audience, or do you just want like a regular audience at court?
Well, the matter I came to discuss concerns Heatstroke. I imagine that might be better for private ears.
Yes. Tomorrow evening, then.
Thank you. All right. I'm gonna go look for a slightly nicer inn. One that's a little bit further away from Tannery's, because I don't want to smell like shit when I go for the meeting tomorrow. I'll find a bathhouse as well.
Perfect. You can bathe. You can find a slightly an inn closer to the castle, where the air is a little bit fresher. Your companions will, I guess, rest and relax in town. Is there anything you want them to be doing in the background while you do your stuff?
I don't know if they need to do anything here. We're mostly just here to meet with the Queen. I'm not sure if there's anything else we need to get done in Stromheim.
Sure. They'll just chill and wait then.
All right.
All right. The next evening, you make your way to Stromheim, to the keep, the castle, and you can speak to Queen. I believe her last name is Sanguine. Stromheim. Right? Something like that. I should probably know this by now. What's her first name? It's in here somewhere. Stromheim. Kiara Sanguine.
Okay.
Yep. She is young. She's only 21 years of age. Maybe 22 by now? 1509, we're in 1511. No, she's 21 years old.
She's the same queen, right? As before. Like, there hasn't been a change in leadership in Stromheim since we were here last.
There has not been. And so you will get brought to a private audience chamber. People sort of know who Van Helsing is, especially people in the religious world, because there aren't a lot of clerics of Chiefs around, much less like warrior clerics of Chiefs who have been traveling the world and doing lots of stuff. So more so than Malachi, I think Van Helsing is a known figure in this part of the world. So your audience is easily arranged. You meet with Queen Ciara Sanguine. You meet with her personal bodyguards. So there's a few of them standing about, heavily armed and armored.
Yeah,
they
I
will
hand them like
to,
my cloth wrap weapons when I walk in.
as well as Father Bronstone, a dwarf, the high cleric here in town. And does she have a? I think her. Keldon the diviner is with them as well. He is the wizard here in town that helps give information and whatnot. So it's the diviner, the cleric, the queen, and the queen's assembled bodyguards.
Okay, that's fine.
You can have this meeting with.
I offer a deep bow and say, "Greetings, Your Majesty."
Greetings.
I've been away from Eridon for some time. Not since the demon invasion first occurred have I been back. I've heard of the matter going on at Heatstroke, that there's some sort of flesh crawling out of the city.
That is what our reports have, yes.
I was coming here hoping to strike some sort of compact with you on this matter. I have personal interest in dealing with this problem that's plaguing Heatstroke, and I imagine that you, as the Queen of Eridon, have personal interest in said matter as well.
Yes. Yes, I do.
I was hoping to ask for any potential resources you could spare in a journey to Heatstroke. I was going to investigate the cause of this growing mass. Later, we plan to engage it a bit more directly, and any information I can get in advance would be very, very helpful for my cause.
She looks to her diviner, who speaks up, and draws out a map, laying it before you. And they say, there is some sort of fleshy substance emerging or seeming to radiate from Heatstroke. It fills an area something like this. At its center is an unknown thing. I am a master diviner, and even I have not been able to get too close of a look at the city. There's some sort of something obscuring it, something highly magical. I fear that the heart of the city is plagued by the darkest of demons, the most powerful of demons, probably at the very center atop the pyramid, the ziggurat.
Yes, I can. Well, probably not in the top. Heatstroke possessed a magic mirror of some kind that served as a portal to the land where these demons hail from. I don't know if this was their entry point into our world or not, but I imagine that's why they're congregating there. It may have some sort of significance to them.
The cleric speaks up and says, yes. The ziggurat in Heatstroke is one of the most holy sites in the whole world, not just on this island. It's one of the closest places to channel power directly to and from the gods. It only makes sense that such vile creatures would putrefy and corrupt such a holy site. It must be eliminated, not just for safety reasons, but if we cannot defend the gods against these monsters, then we are not worthy of their blessings. I'm sure you understand.
Of course. Still, though, we can't go in blind, and that's the matter that I've come here about. I intend to get close to Heatstroke and investigate what this substance growing out of it is. Perhaps we could learn a bit more about whatever's growing at the heart of it. But I could use help in such a matter. I'm 4 men strong, and I carry only a light traveling purse with me. I could use a bit more official authority behind me.
The queen speaks up. What did you have in mind?
If you could help me secure passage on a ship, I could get one that's willing to wait, perhaps near the Misty Valley. I could travel up to Heatstroke and investigate a bit more closely and a bit more personally. I don't think I'll be able to get into the city proper, at least not this time. We're going to have to wait until a friend of mine, you might have heard of him, Malachi, the wizard.
He is known to me.
We have a plan. I suppose I should be more forthcoming. The portal leads to a realm of shadow. or a reflection of a realm of shadow in the case of that mirror portal, perhaps. I'm not entirely sure myself.
The diviner nods along with you.
Yeah. We intend to go back. I was once exiled there by Malchus, and it was only through luck that I managed to make it back in the first place, but as a personal mission, I intend to save some souls that have been trapped in this place, which will likely entail traveling directly into Heatstroke. I feel that our interests align in this matter.
Well, I would be more than happy to furnish you with passage, but for one small problem. All of our coastal towns on the east coast have been destroyed. The towns in Wake County are in open rebellion. The towns on the west coast are, I shouldn't say in rebellion, but so crippled as to have no means to assist us in this matter.
I see. Well,
There is the possibility, speaks up the dwarf, that you could go to Copper Hill and take a boat from there down the River Crux, which leads straight into Heatstroke. You'd have to take it downriver. It could be done.
That would take me dangerously close to Fortune, wouldn't it?
Well, I wouldn't say dangerously. It's a fine city.
Well, perhaps. I'd rather avoid Fortune if at all possible.
Nonsense. You don't believe the rumors, do you? Surely a man of God such as yourself understands that they're nothing but idle talk of peasants.
I remain skeptical of everything until I've seen it for myself. I've heard that Fortune has never been attacked by the demon invasion, which strikes me as strange for one that you would imagine as one of the closest towns to Heatstroke. It would be one of the first to be plagued by this swarm that we're facing.
What exactly are you implying?
I don't make any
Crouches the
accusations.
dwarf.
I don't make any accusations, and I apologize if I've spoken too freely. I simply mean that I'd rather take as much safety in this matter as I can possibly employ.
The queen puts a gentle hand on the dwarf to silence him and says, well, if the river route will not do for you, I'm not sure what assistance I could provide. Maybe horses?
I have a thought. I have the means. I know Heatstroke is dangerously hot, but I have the means to keep a small party of animals from bearing too much pain from the heat, so horses may work. Is it possible that there's a wizard you could spare? One who might be able to... I don't suggest your diviner himself comes with me, but perhaps another who could help investigate this fleshy substance. As a cleric, I have some tools for investigation, but taking both halves of our magical powers may help us lead to a greater understanding.
The diviner, Keldon, speaks up and says, Father Van Helsing, it has been a trying year for us. We are currently in the bouts of a small famine. There are refugees at our gates that we must turn back.
I see.
Unfortunately, most of the educated have fled the city for better lands.
I see.
Traveling mostly to Drekis, a few to Akuba. Our wizards have all left. Clerics are still in, plentiful here in town, except for that terrible incident where many of them died in a fire last year. But aside from that, there are, 2 years ago, was it? 2 years ago. There are a few clerics that could go with you, but I doubt none of them would be as skilled as yourself. I am the only mage of note still left in the capital, and I am needed here. I could perhaps give you some scrying ahead of time.
Do you have a scroll? Could you create I have a wizard companion with me. I highly doubt as proficient as you, but if you could create a spell in advance, one you think might help with determining what the makeup of this substance is?
He nods repeatedly to himself. Yes, I could do something like that. Let me... And he thinks to his spell book And I think I might actually have, looking at the spells that he has presently memorized, I think this might be... Oops. Is this what I think it is? Yes. I can create... There's a powerful spell called Legend Lore. It is a difficult spell, and if it's in the hands of a weaker, no offense, caster, she will need to be in direct contact with the material. Otherwise, the casting time is many days, and that will not work from a scroll. But if he's in the presence of the material and physically touching it, should be no more than an hour to cast.
I suppose that could help. I don't suppose you have this written down.
No. I would have to gather the materials and create the scroll. It would take me some time to make.
If you could make it happen, that would be quite useful. And one thing out of character, Neal. I think it might cast the spell at the level of the person who created the scroll.
It will, yes.
Yeah. So I don't know if he'll need to be in direct contact.
So Legend Lore said, the Legend Lore spell is used to determine legendary information regarding a known person, place, or thing. If the person or thing is at hand, or if the wizard is in the place in question, the likelihood of producing results is greater, and the casting time is 1d4 turns. If only detailed information on the person, place, or thing is known, it's 1d10 days for the casting time. If only rumors are known, which is what we're at right now, it's 1d6 weeks.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. So that's my in-game way of saying you got to be in touch with it. Otherwise, it's
If that's something you could spare, I would greatly appreciate it.
He nods. He can make this happen. He'll need some strips of ivory, some incense, and some time.
Excellent. Also, on a somewhat different subject, Your Majesty, I hear Joris, the wizard, is currently in your dungeons.
The traitor Joris? Yes.
I don't know much about what has happened between you, and I would understand if you didn't want to release him into my custody. I simply wanted to say that having known Joris, he's a pragmatic man and a cautious one. He would be a useful asset for you to make use of, and I think leaving him to rot in a cell is a waste of his talents.
You are not the first person to come and speak on his behalf. Another wizard has recently stopped by with similar intents. I will think on this.
Thank you. That's all I ask.
Okay, let me just check how Legend War works. I've never actually used this spell before.
Nice.
What is the... Naturally, and she used Identify spell. That's Legend Lore, hoping to gain more information. She competes in 3 turns. Her mind comes message. So, in the example of Del Sonora, trying to identify a sword who Identify spell didn't work on. Finally, she casts Legend Lore, hoping to gain more information. In her mind comes the message: once the sword, or this was the sword of he who waits till Albion's time of greatest peril. When unto his hand it shall fly again.
Okay.
Fair was the hand that gave me, and fair was the hand that reclaimed me. Clearly, she realizes this must be a very powerful item, since the spell only gave a cryptic answer. But who is he who waits, and where is Albion? For more information, she's going to have to cast more spells. But now the process will take much longer, since she only has vague clues to follow.
That's actually fine, because I will eventually get access to Time Pool. So if we can learn even vague things, I might be able to follow up from that with only one casting of Legend Lore.
Excellent. I was hoping that there would be a way to figure out what level of detail you get, but it doesn't seem... Let's see. When it's completed, The divination reveals if legendary material is available. It often reveals where the material is by place name, rhyme, or riddle. It sometimes gives certain information regarding the person, place, or thing, but this data is always cryptic in some form. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. That'll be good.
Yeah, that could be really useful.
And how long does it take to make a scroll, a high-level scroll?
I don't remember. I've only made a scroll a couple of times.
Yeah, I don't remember if it's
to put it onto its own paper, because I intend to. Having made a few scrolls in my time, I know that they can occasionally backfire. I'd check it for that, but it might destroy the scroll in the process. I'd rather not destroy any of your other magics.
He will certainly do that. I just don't remember if scrolls all take the same amount of time, or if the amount of time to make it changes depending on the level.
I think it does change, but I'll double check. Scrolls. Where are scrolls?
Potions, scrolls.
Scrolls.
Do. You must do.
Even the actual proc. 1 full day for each level of the spell, so about a week for a 6th level spell.
Sure. So it'll take him about a week for this, and your armor makers say it'll take them about take him about 10 weeks to make the armor. So the question is, do you want to wait for the armor to go out and do this stuff? Because we can sort of just skip by 10 weeks here in the town without too much problem. Or do you want to do this other stuff while you wait for the armor to be made?
Well, if we do 10 weeks, how close does that put us to Malachi? Is one question I'm curious about.
Still like 3 months behind him.
Oh, really? Yeah, we'll just wait here then.
Yeah, he is way...
What is he doing?
He spent like a month with this on the airship. Maybe it wasn't a month, maybe it was a couple of weeks. And then he got pinned by a dragon, a brass dragon, for 3 months under a pile of rubble, where the brass dragon just like asked him every question about his entire life for 3 months and made him tell him stories over and over and over again. Just completely, just like a head in dirt with nothing else. So
add Malachi to the list of add dragons to the list of races Malachi has a personal grudge against.
Somehow he kind of came out with that okay. He kind of liked being imprisoned by the dragon, as the impression that I got. I don't know.
I mean, it was a chance to talk big about himself, so. Right.
And now he can claim that he's got a dragon friend, so.
Yeah.
You know, Malachi's ego, always being fed.
Yeah. His ego is like the universe, always expanding.
Infinitely expanding, faster and faster, till there's nothing left. Got it. Cool. So we'll wait.
In that case, I'm going to ask if they can spare some resources, like small funds for living with a small party, because I only brought traveling money with the intent of skipping out of Stromheim. But we were accosted by a green dragon in the woods, and with some new materials to work with, I need to hole up here a little bit longer than initially planned.
Well, the queen will offer, rather than to give you funds, to just put you and your companions up in the castle. There are plenty of spare rooms. You're working for them, sort of. Your goals are aligned, and you are a cleric. So
excellent. Yeah. Also, was the original Queen of Stromheim murdered by the Malchus clerics?
No. Queen Kiara has been here since Hardcore Heroes started.
Okay. I will inform her then that we discovered the cause of the royal murders, that they were the work of a contingent of Malchus clerics, and that they have since been dealt with. Well,
they may have been dealt with, but it seems that they have accomplished their goals.
Without question.
If you say that Malchus has sent you to this shadow realm, and that is where these demons have come from, then I believe it is their work that has brought us to our knees.
Most likely, yes. Though to what end, I can't say. With a being such as Malchus, it may be that there was no end to any of it.
She nods. This is a shitty situation. And let's do some rolls to figure out your armor.
Awesome.
All right, so let's figure out the smith's skill, non-weapon proficiencies. We're doing leather working. That's a straight intelligence check.
Yep.
And let's see, until the first suit of armor mage. Okay, so he's already got his proficiency, so no penalties on checks.
And then I assume he gets some sort of bonus for taking his time.
Yeah. And having all the proper supplies and all of the, he's got
As
the
a
finest
lifelong
materials at
tanner,
hand.
does he have the multiple ranks in the skill?
Yes.
Like most people. Okay.
Yes. So I think he's not necessarily a smart fella. I'm going to give him maybe 10 int. But he'll have made like 3 extra ranks in there, so 3, 6, 9. So he's got a leather working of 19, I think.
Okay.
Great. So he might actually need less than 10 weeks to do this, but he'll take his time, yeah. So let's do this.
Is it just you get 2 rolls, like at advantage or something if you take your time?
Something like that. And that way he won't have to like redo pieces because he's only got so many to work with.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just make some notes here. So we're looking for 1 body and 1 set of limbs?
Yeah.
Okay. So 17 and 19 is 36 for the first section of body.
Cool.
16 and 19 is 35 for the second section of the body. Ooh, natural 20, can't beat that. Is a 39. So that's the body's got 3 parts with a 35 as the lowest. And then the limbs are gonna be, 5 and 19 is 24.
Oh, you're averaging the rolls.
No, I'm doing advantage, but he rolled 2 5s, unfortunately.
Oh, I thought it was 5 and 19.
5 plus 19 is...
Okay, so I thought you were just rolling a bunch of 19s. I was so confused.
No, I'm just adding the plus 19 bonus.
Okay.
Okay, and this is only a 25. That was a 2 and a 6 on the die. And this is an 11 and a 6, so 11 and 19 is a 30. Actually, he doesn't need that. He only needs 2 for the limbs. So our limbs are 24.
Do you average or take the lowest?
You take the lowest. Only strong is the weakest link. So the body is going to be
35 in quality.
Yeah, which is over max. I only have my chart going up to 30. So the body is going to be... Oops. Body is plus 5 AC, so it's as good as plate. And the limbs are only plus 2. Oh, he's 1 off from getting... he is using better
check it up on the progress, because we have enough for some leftover. And I'll tell him he's free to use the remainder of the materials if it can improve the limbs.
Okay. He is using superior materials, so I'll just give him a flat +1 as well. So we'll say the limbs were a 25.
Okay.
Which is +3 to AC. So this green dragon armor now is the whole suit is +8 to AC.
Okay.
And he's got enough left over to either do another chest plate or another set of limbs.
Let's have him do another chest plate.
Okay. So another 19 to 19 is 38. 37. He's so good at doing the chest, but he's terrible at doing the limbs. And 35.
Wow.
Okay, so another 35. So he's got body +5 times 2, limbs +3 times 1.
Okay.
Well, what would you like to do with this armor?
The companions were... How much does it weigh?
Oh, well, you can... Yeah, never mind. How much does it weigh?
Yeah.
It is super light.
My full plate is 30 pounds for me.
Yeah.
Or my field plate, my bad.
Let's see, they may be lighter, heavier, more seed, less seed, bulk. What is the weight? It's going to be a little heavier than leather armor, but I think that's probably a good base to work from. So let's say it's see, a leather chest is normally 9 pounds, and leather limbs. What did we do for Frofro? What was your armor weight there? Why don't we just pull
I'll
from
pull up my
that?
fair sheet and I'll let you know in a second.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to do it. I think we might just
Either
use
way,
leather
it's
weight.
probably going to be worn by my companions. What are they wearing for armor right now? I know one of them has full plate.
Yeah, the older knight has full plate. The younger knight has chainmail.
Okay, we'll probably give it to the younger knight then, since she's going to be taking some hard knocks.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. I got the thing up. Leather, 30 pounds. So the same as my field plate since I took the proficiency back before
Okay.
you said that it was banned.
Right. So it weighs twice leather then, is what it seems to be. Perfect.
Makes sense. It is because it has like the heavy scales on it. But yeah, no, I give it to the younger woman then.
Okay. So she will go from AC 15 to AC 18.
Yeah.
Now, is this a gift or a loan? This is important to set out from the beginning.
We'll gift it, and then I'll hold on to the other chess piece. And I don't know if I trust anyone. I'll ask if they'd be willing to store it in the castle at Stromheim.
They will
later
happily
recollection.
store this for you. Yes.
Okay. I'll hold on to the chess piece, but yeah, the one with the limbs is a gift to her.
Oh, you've just bought some serious loyalty here. Okay. She will have AC 18 green dragon scale armor, and you will have one extra chest plate for whatever you want.
Perfect.
And she's
I don't
got Harvest
think...
Moon too? Oh my god. She also has Harvest Moon.
Yeah,
You
she's
have
on
outfitted
Harvest
her
Moon.
with the greatest gear she's ever had in her life.
Yeah, Harvest Moon is Lent, very specifically. That one,
Right.
that one is a very personal weapon. All right. And then I assume what is the fighter mage doing, like gear wise?
Gear-wise, he is wearing street clothes. Traveling clothes, really. Because he can't cast spells in armor.
Oh right, you can't cast them at all. Is there no? I thought fighters could do it with like a penalty. That makes sense though.
Yeah, so, but he's got, he's still specialized in swords.
Makes sense.
So he can
Okay.
handle his own if they come for him. And he's got, what do we call it? The specialization, not the special, the, what do they call it? The skills that allow you, he's plus 2 AC from wielding a sword, basically. So the fighter mage sits at 13 AC, 1 from dex, 2 from sword specialization.
Okay. And then, there's a. Well, how long does it take to put on? Because it's leather, right?
I don't know, a minute? It's short.
So it takes like a round to don.
Yeah, I'll double check the.
Maybe
donning
we'll take that.
doffing.
Okay, I might take that with us so that either Lucilla or I can put it on. Like if we're ever caught out in the night, we can just quickly don that armor and gain an instant +5 to AC.
That's nice. Because the plate mail takes forever to put on.
Yeah. And she's in full plate, so that's even worse.
Are you just
Yeah,
in
so-
half plate?
I'm in field plate.
Field plate? Okay. Getting in and out of armor. Armor. Putting on page 101 of the player's handbook. Page 101. Getting into armor. Some time is needed. All those armors that are a single piece, leather, tunics, robes, chainmail take 1 round, 2 for metal items. To don with slight assistance. Without aid, the time is doubled. Armor that is made of separate pieces requires D6 plus 4 rounds with assistance. Okay,
So
tripled
we'll,
without.
I guess if we have it like apart, it can be put in the chest, right?
What else?
when-
The chest has armor and food.
Yeah, well, I'm curious, like, when you have a leather, like, chest piece, right, does it go flat when you're not wearing it, and then it's kind of open on the sides to be sort of compacted down, or is
I
it just like
think
a big...
No, I think it's like a. How do we say? I think it is like just a thing that you pull over yourself, so it's fairly bulky and it'll keep its form. So you can fit it in the chest, but you'll have to like fill it with food to make room for everything else. You have to use the empty chest cavity to hold stuff. So it'd be like if you
Okay,
want
that's
to
fine.
put it on really quickly, you'd have to like dump all your food everywhere
No
and
problem.
then put it on. Yeah. Cool. That'll work.
All right. With that in mind, I think we're good to go. So it's been 10 weeks?
It has been 10 weeks.
Oh, and I think he could just make the same quality dragon leather, which I think doesn't matter for the second breastplate.
Right.
Because there was a thing, if you do it once, you can do it again.
I did realize that, but I tried to say
doesn't
nothing
matter.
so I wouldn't look like a fool, but now you've called me out on it.
It's fine.
It's fine.
We all forget the rules constantly.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, perfect. Has Plainsview been destroyed, or is it still standing?
Nope, it's gone.
Okay.
5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here. And then 10 weeks later. So you got here in early February. Now it's been 10 weeks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now it is going to be April 20th, I believe.
Okay.
Right, April 20th-ish. Who
Yeah.
keeps track of actual times?
So I'll learn a little bit about the area while we're here. I know Fortune is still standing. Plainsview's gone. I assume Anvil's gone.
Yep.
Is everything like Hillsborough safe since it's on the other side of the mountains? Did they manage to hold it?
Yep. And they're an open rebellion. They have declared themselves to be their own kingdom. They do not answer to Stromheim, and they're doing their own shit. They're not actually... There's no battling, but they have claimed independence.
Okay.
And
Well, I'm not really affiliated with anyone, so I guess I definitely shouldn't go to Redport.
Yeah, let's see, what else is there worthy to note? If we go to the northwest of Eridon, this stuff up here has also, like, broken off into their own confederation. And then the dwarves in the hilly areas up top have also broken off into their own confederation.
Wow.
So really, Eridon is now just
like Stromheim and Copperhill.
That's it. That's the entire kingdom at this point. Although they still claim the rest of the area. Mm-hmm. Actually, I guess they sort of claim Fortune, but Fortune is sort of standoffish. You know, they've always been a quiet place.
Yeah.
Although Fortune has actually just recently invaded Meadstead, so I don't know if they still want to claim it or not. That situation's weird. Longcast and Kneecap are standing, but like in war between themselves and each other, and they're just fucked. So,
Okay, so they're like city-states now at this point.
Yeah, they're failing city-states.
Okay. Maybe we'll stop by Hillsborough then.
Okay. This is where we will end for the day. The next time that we get to check in with Van Helsing, he will be setting out from Stromheim with his brave companions, maybe to Hillsborough, maybe to Plainsview, maybe to Heatstroke. We will find out next time, which will be in a couple of weeks at the minimum. The summer schedules are hard to manage, but we'll sort it out.
Yeah, we'll figure out a time.
We'll figure it out. Okay. So that's going to be it for today. Thank you, Sean, for coming by. It's good to see you again. It feels like it's been forever.
It's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah, when did Frofro finish up? Was that in 2019 or 2018?
That's a good question. It's been a good number of months because Sarmanath didn't start till a while afterwards.
Right.
And that's like 22 sessions in. Oh
my god, already?
Yeah.
Great.
Apparently. I was shocked when I saw it too. I was like, what? We haven't done anything. we have gotten sidetracked along every possible route. We went on a side quest after being told where to go for our primary thing that we were interested in. And then on the way to our side quest, we got sidetracked by another side quest.
Double side quest.
Yeah, we're a bit of a squirrel party.
Nice. Well, you can find Sean on Seekers of Sarmanath every Saturday at noon Pacific time, along with Fayama from Kuban Knights and Greg from All the Things. And who's your other players?
We have Dan and Mike, who are both personal friends of Greg.
Okay, cool. So you can find them there on Saturdays. That's on Greg Hansen's channel, yeah? Twitch.tv/Greg Hansen.
Yeah. Oh, did you mention Millman? Millman's there.
Millman? Oh, Millman, who used to be on Shenanigans.
I assumed you mentioned him because he shows up on Shenanigans every once in a while.
Yeah. So that's a lot of people. Cool.
Yeah, got a 5-person cast.
Nice. Well, that's it, everybody. We will see you next time. Any last words, Sean?
Nah, that's it. I'll see you guys next time I'm here, probably a couple of weeks.
Yeah, Yeah, something like that. Bye.
Bye.